Hey everybody. Oh shit. Hey everybody, I'll be right. I'll fire up the stream in a second. I'm trying to get everything organized here. So just give me a few more minutes and I'll turn the video on. Hey everybody, Lee from PC Junkie Mods here. So today we're going to be doing a pretty epic build. In front of me I have all the parts laid out. So this is a sponsored build with Newegg and Intel. Some of the sponsors that are also involved is Seagate, MSI, G-Skill, EVGA, EK. Am I missing anybody? I always feel like I'm going to miss somebody. I'm double checking right now. MainFRAME Customs, Singularity Computers. I have the case right here in front of me. I don't know if it's in, yeah, you can kind of see it in the camera. I have to look over there because the screen's over there. Anyways, so we're going to try to jump right into this. Sorry for the hold up here. What I've been doing with the case is kind of going through and putting Loctite on all the bolts. The reason being is it's going to ship, and the last thing I want is for some of these screws to unthread during shipping. I've had it happen many times. Get back a system and a couple of the screws are missing out of the motherboard. Anyway, so let's go ahead and dive right in. I want to show you guys the hardware that's going to be involved. So I'm trying to remember which camera is which here. I think that's the over the top. There we go. Bear with me, first stream. So for the most part, here's all the hardware that's going to be in the system. As you can see, we got all the brands out there. I put all the boxes. Obviously, most of the stuff is already pulled out of the box. Reason being is I didn't want to sit here in this stream for the next hour unboxing everything. So I thought it'd be a lot more logical to pull everything out. As you can see, we've got some Seagate drives here in the front. MSI Motherboard Z390 with the i7, or I'm sorry, I'm so used to saying i7. The i9 9900K there from Intel, some Intel SSDs, the M.2s. We also have an Intel Optane SSD 900p, a bunch of EK goodies, some more MSI products over there. The Seahawks that are already pre-water blocked from EK, as you can see right here. I already put them together with the bridge. Then we got the RGB fans, the EVGA power supply. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something. Nope, we're good. I think I covered everything. So, and then the G-Skill Trident Z Royals. So those, yeah, definitely some nice RAM there. So I'm going to have this camera pretty much set up right here because I'll be building the system right here. So I thought this would be the best, except for the glare up there. Right, yeah, I thought this would be the best visual for you guys. I also have the top-down view, so I can also go to camera 2 here so you guys can see it from the top. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. I'm gonna start by finishing up what I haven't finished yet. So I need to put on the case, I need to put on, where am I at? I need to put on the bracket here with the front plate, and then the bracket on the top for the radiator mounts. And also, the radiators are not in the scene here. The reason being is I actually have the fans on them. I'll come over here and I'll show you guys. I've already cut these down, so now I only have one connection instead of 3 coming out of here. That's for both radiators. So I actually soldered these up while they're on the radiator because it made sense to do it that way. So they're kind of sitting out of camera view right now. All right, so yeah, so let's start building. What do I need to do here? I need to finish this, so I'm going to slide this back. I'll go ahead and do the overhead. Give me a second here. I want to make sure that the chat's working. I don't know if anybody's texting or anything. I don't. So obviously, I'm gonna have to do some more tweaking because the chat's not working on my OBS. It should actually pull up on my OBS, and it's not. So I have Twitch open right now. So I probably won't be able to see Facebook or anything else. That's awesome. Sorry about that. So I think we got the chat box working now. I forgot to start it. So user error. All right, so let's do this. I think I'll come back to this one. Let me move these here. So for this Singularity's chassis, the Spectre 2.0, we actually took and powder coated it. So as you can see, I got some orange pieces here for Newegg, and then I got this nice gray. It's got a little speck in it, a silver speck, so, or flake, whatever you want to call it. So I need to put this with this. I need one of these. And I'm going to take these off. Taking off my gloves. So the first thing I usually do when doing a custom PC is, as you can, I'm trying to get the moisture off my hands real quick. The first thing I would do for anybody, this goes for anybody, is test your hardware first. So I grabbed me a little stock Intel cooler, threw it on there, went ahead and checked everything, made sure everything was working correctly, hence the reason the cooler is still on here. So I'm not going to go obviously through the process of installing the CPU because it's pretty straightforward. If you've done one, you've done them all. So, well, except for the newer ones, those are a little more complicated. But let's move on here to these screws. And where's the manual? So give me a second while I read some instructions again. I don't think so. Okay. So somebody was asking if there's a Loctite that dries clear. I'm not sure. I have a red and blue. Obviously, my red you don't want to use unless you're going to use a torch to remove whatever you Loctite. As far as the clear goes, I'm not sure. I would think so because, you know, nowadays they're coming out with new and more new products. So that's something you may want to Google. So I need 2A and 2B. So now I got to dig through all my mess that I made. Here's 2B. 2B again. These are the M4. A. Can't remember if these were too short. Yeah, that clear would have been better, but blue's fine. What I did is I put the blue Loctite. Let me switch the camera here. Which one am I on? So I'm gonna go back to 1. So I went ahead and used the Loctite on like all these major screws here for like the leg supports and then for the power supply mount. But for the most part, I wiped off all the excess, so there was nothing that bled over, because I can see to the orange bracket here for the leg, and there's no orange bleed anywhere, so that, or blue bleed. So it doesn't look like the Loctite got everywhere. I was a little concerned about it as well, but it looks all right, so should be good. So I'm going to try to use a different screw than what Daniel sent with the case. The only reason is I added some, so the powder coat added a little bit more thickness to the pieces. So I'm a little concerned that the screws that he originally had may not reach or may not be long enough anymore. So now I'm just gonna give it a go, and if it's if these screws are too long, then obviously I'll go back to Daniel's. So yeah, the not every single screw in the acrylic. No, I did not go through and Loctite every single individual screw. I don't envision anybody wants to take that all apart. So I left the basic assembly of the panel together. I didn't take it apart. I wiped it down and then I tightened all the screws just to make sure everything was nice and tight, being that it is a reservoir. So the last thing I want is some loose screws and have it leak or something. So if you buy one of these chassis, I recommend going through and checking all these screws, because of the fact of shipping, the vibration in the truck or the plane or wherever it's, however it's getting shipped, those screws could come loose. See if I can figure this out again. So I want to say that goes like that. No. I'm drawing a blank again how this went. No, the shorter side goes toward the back. So this is toward the back, so this would be like this. So I need it here. I need this to be over the edge like that. And then this will come in through the bottom. All right, cool. Yeah, try to juggle all these pieces. Let me just try the original screw first. So in most cases I would probably install my radiators and stuff first, but in this situation I don't want to do that because I've already tried to set this up with the rads on it, and then I can't get to the screws that I'm trying to put in now. Something's not. Oh, whoops. This is the wrong one. My bad. That goes on the case itself. Original screw. You know what? I'll do this like this. I tried to get this case all together before we started the live stream. That was what the kind of the holdup was, because I didn't want to spend the whole live stream messing around with the case trying to put it together. But here we are. Just time went by too fast. Now I need the gloves. So for the most part, I don't think I'll finish this build today. So most likely what I'll do is I'll fire up the stream again tomorrow or on Saturday to finish it off, because I still got to bend some tubes. So the main goal today is to, let me switch camera view. I'll go back to 3. So the main objective here is to get most of the hardware in there, and then I'll see what time it is, because my goal was a 4-hour window. I didn't want to take you guys any further than that. So for the most part, I'm going to try to get all this hardware onto the chassis, and then I'll probably bend the tubes up off camera, or maybe I'll do them on camera on the next stream, which would be tomorrow or Saturday. And I should be able to figure that out by tomorrow, if I'm going to do it tomorrow or if I'm going to do it Saturday. So I'll keep you guys in the loop on Facebook or Twitter or wherever. Oh, go back to 2. All right, so I need some other screws here. Washers, I got washers. So this is just an extra bag that Daniel was kind enough to throw in for me, because I am dealing with some, I guess you could say prototype, or not prototype, but sample, you know, like non-retail product like the Elite kit. I only have half the Elite kit, which is actually the front panel. And so he sent me a bunch of extra screws just in case I needed some stuff that I didn't have, which was awesome. So I don't think I'll use these. Oops. Just trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. It does have a lock washer on it, but just for ease of mind, I'll come back and tighten them later once I get them all with Loctite. I got it on my finger. 632. So I'm just putting the Loctite on there and then wiping off any excess, and this one needs a lock washer. So now to figure out, I think I want it all the way back, and then I'm going to tighten these down. So I don't know if you guys watched my video that I just put out on the case, but I mean, I went over a few good things about the chassis. I mean, for one, yeah, it's like a $1,400 chassis, okay? But it's got some benefits. I mean, for one, the quality is there. It's got really good quality. Everything's, you know, top-notch quality. The screws are stainless. The legs are metal. Everything's all aluminum, so it kind of shaves off some of the weight. Because if you made it all steel, it'd probably be extremely heavy. I mean, that acrylic piece alone is heavy. But the good thing is like if you're going to get into water cooling, this is like the ideal chassis here, because for one, it's got a built-in reservoir in it, pump mount, everything. So let me get this Loctite off the table. Plus it has wire cable management already built into it. All kinds of goodies. Where's my... So here I'll kind of show you in case you haven't seen. So like these cutouts here are to run your cables for your 8-pin EPS for the CPU. Here's the 24-pin to plug into the motherboard. And then here's like your graphics cards, so they come out and plug into your GPUs. The Spectre 2.0 comes with a vertical mount that goes here. We won't be using that because I've opted out because I needed to install two 14 terabyte Seagate hard drives. So one of them actually lands right here on top and the other one hangs off the side here. So I've made a few modifications to the chassis to accommodate the 2 3.5 hard drives. So, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, here's a reservoir here, your built-in pump mount, you know, and then obviously the cable management and stuff like that. So, I mean, there's a lot going for this case. There's nothing else like it on the market either. 2. Back to 2. Alright, so this one is good. I'm going to move it out of the way. Now I need to figure out how this one goes again, because I think it goes like this. But just to make sure, I'll pull out the Elite kit, or the Elite front panel, I should say. So if you go to Singularity Computers on their website, you can actually see that they have the components, right? You can buy just the front panel. The Elite kit actually comes with the front panel. It comes with this spacer here, and then it comes with a side mount. I'm gonna go back. Comes with a side mount piece that goes right here, and it lines up with your vertical graphics cards with the newer EK water blocks. They did tell me that they'll be coming out with other options to accommodate other water cooling companies and stuff, but right now the one they have is designed for EK. So it's another panel that will go over your graphics card, and if I'm not mistaken, it's a 4-port panel. And I want to say it lines up with the GPUs and the CPU, maybe. I'm not sure because I don't have it here, so I'd have to look it up. So I'm trying to keep the top-down view because then you guys can kind of see what I'm doing here. All right, so this is how this goes on, just like that. So if that goes like that, then this guy goes here. All right, so somebody's asking if I'm giving this PC away or if I'm selling it or whatever. And of course, I got a couple of my buddies that are on the stream right now. I got Wendell out there, I think Split, Lockdown, a bunch of the guys I game with. I didn't get a chance to see everybody's name in there, but so I'm gonna tell you what I've been told. Okay. Newegg and Intel will be giving this away next month. Here, do I need to get the facial here? Yeah, we need the facial. Let's do it. I'm reading this from the paper here. Okay, so I printed the email so that way I wouldn't get anything wrong and nobody would flame me for it, right? And I don't mean you guys, I mean the guys that I'm building this for. So Newegg and Intel will be giving this away next month. Follow Newegg's social media for the official announcement and terms and conditions. If I get any questions, so I'm just going to answer them now. Target date 6/11, somewhere around there. Okay. Eligibility US only. It will be on newegg.com. You have to agree to the terms and conditions to be able to qualify. Yeah, so that covers it. So now you guys know this is actually a PC giveaway, and so far from what I've showed you on the table, it's got two 2080 Ti's. It's got an i9 9900K CPU. Can't get any better right now, probably. Two M.2 SSDs. 512 gigabytes. Oh wait, they're not. Oh, they're. Oh crap. Okay, so we'll have to come back to that. I thought these were M.2s. I gotta call my contact, I guess. Yeah, so, and then the Intel Optane drive, fully water cooled, the Spectre case, you know, I mean, it's just like way over the top setup. So stay tuned for that. Anyways, let's get back to building here. Can you mute? Sorry, everybody. I had to make a phone call. Yeah, so we took care of that. That's my mishap. I overlooked that. I assumed those those Intel drives, which are awesome, were M.2s, because I have a couple M.2s that come in the same size box, I think. So I just assumed they were M.2s. I never actually flipped them over and looked that they're actually an SSD here. So unfortunate thing is I removed the SSD mounting here to be able to accommodate the Seagate 14 terabyte, and not just one 14 terabyte, but two 14 terabytes. So we just had to hash out what we were going to do there. So he's going to take care of it. He says, as long as you can move forward and you don't need those right this second. I'm like, no, I don't need them right this second. We'll come back to it. So, all right, let's move on. Where was I? Here. So for anybody that has joined in the last 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, this is a PC4 giveaway through Newegg and Intel. So yeah, more details later. I don't think I have enough of these. 1, 2. How's the build going? Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish putting the case together earlier like I wanted to. It took a lot of time to actually put Loctite on all the screws, all the big screws, you know, the structural screws and the power supply mounting setup and stuff like that. So here I'm still I need to put this bracket together, because once I put this bracket on, then I can move forward with hardware installation. So, all right, so this is the top. This goes like this. Oops. No. This goes like that. And there's one more piece that goes on here. Which is this guy. This is where I need the longer screws. Yep. All right, so let's do this a little different. I think what I'll do before I put this together is I'm going to run the power switch, because once I put all this together I won't be able to run it later. I don't know if you guys want to hear something kind of funny. So for the longest time, when you get these what are they, bulging buttons here, the longest time, they always come with an O-ring, right? They come with an O-ring and a nut here. And for the longest time, I always thought this O-ring went on the outside. And then one day I discovered that it actually was on the inside. So I felt like a total jackass, but you know, it's one of those things you live and learn, right? So that kind of goes with the the things you don't want to do, I guess, when putting a PC together. It's like leaving the plastic on your CPU cooler or CPU water block, you know, before you put it on the CPU. I've done that too. I think everybody's done that. So what the O-ring does here is it enables you to tighten it up and not have to tighten it so much that you end up scratching stuff. So you can just tighten it by hand because the O-ring will actually grab whatever metal or whatever surface it's touching. There. Should be good. Cool. So as you can see, the orange was just to give it a little bit of accent. The liquid will be orange as well. And you can tell from the cables that are on the table from MainFRAME Customs that there's just supposed to be an accent, nothing too drastic. I mean, you could have done the whole thing in, oh yeah, that's right, different screws. Could have done the whole thing in orange, but I think it would have just been too much. There, trying to give you guys a little bit more view here because I'm on this edge of the table here. So I'm opting to switch to a different screw here. I need something longer because of the powder coat. Hopefully it's not too long. Guess we'll find out here in a minute. If I can get the stupid wires out of the way. No, they're good. Well, I think I'm going to zip tie this thing to the front. This is starting to get on my nerves. And this is just so I don't break off the connection on the bolt and switch, the reset or the start button, power button, because they are soldered on there. So, all right, so I don't need these. Well, so I gotta make an adjustment here. This screw hole doesn't line up, and that's probably because I got a prototype. So let's go back to our messy stuff here. Shit, it's making a mess. And if you use Loctite, you might want to have a towel around. Because last time I was using it, it squirted all over the place. That's why I'm trying to stay over the towel here. Are you making jokes over there, moderator? I'm getting trolled by the moderator. Alright, so yeah, I'm going to have to drill a hole, unfortunately. I almost have it on my fingers. Let me do this one here. All right, those two are pretty tight. Guess I should have asked, how's the lighting for everybody? I didn't even think to ask earlier. Huh? Oh. Yeah, so if you guys want to see more of this stuff, be sure to follow me so I can get the, what is it, the sub button or whatever it is. You know, we can get some more of this stuff going on. I'd love to do all my custom PC builds, live stream them, you know, like day one, do prep work, and then day two, actually, you know, finish it, have a completed PC at the end of the day. All right, so now we got to drill a hole because, I don't know, because, just because, how about that? Ooh. Oh, whoops. This isn't supposed to be here. Can you see this in the stream? Could you read it? Andrew, you're on blast. Put this here. I want to say, what is this one? Nope. Yeah, it probably was that. But now it's powder coated, so it's not. That's awesome. How's that gonna work? Shit. Now, these gloves don't work very well with the screw gun. Alright, so how am I gonna do this? I kind of need to have the, yeah, I guess like that. I don't know if you guys can see or not. Normally you should probably like tape this off before you do it, because if you catch one of those little spirals of aluminum, they'll scratch everything up, and I'm just like thinking of it right now when it started to spiral. How about a different view? Instead of just staring at the table, right? Okay, back to work. Yeah, I put the tape over it. I don't know where the hole went. There it is. And since there's wires underneath, you gotta be careful. So this is the kind of stuff that normally I would do off stream, but since it's just one hole, I'm doing it here. There. Let's see if the screw fits. All right, we're in business. Since it's just one hole, I'm doing it here. Title of your second. Oh, title of my. Yeah, I got it now. LOL. That's funny. That was a good one. Yep, yep. All right. So I don't know where most of you guys live. I know a bunch of my buddies live down in Fresno and Bakersfield area, but it's raining like crazy here today. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was supposed to be almost summer. It was hailing. Just insane. Totally. Where did I put the wrench? Oh. Come on, fucker. Hate not writing. What's wrong with riding in the rain, Wendell? I mean, I took my test in the rain. I mean motorcycle. It's a lot harder to do the motorcycle in the rain. Alright, so I think we are finally at a point of hardware. I just put these pieces on here. These both go on the case now, and we can get cooking. Alright, so I'll move those out of the way. Put this one back in here. Actually, leave that one like this. Put those like that. Need those to mount. Bring this back. I think I messed up my table. Yep. Alright, so I guess we could go to that camera. And let me do the top first. So wait a second. So, shoot. Just thinking about how I'm gonna get the fan wire and stuff up in here. If I can even put it in there, I don't know. right. Well, this is bigger. There we go. So this has got to come off. I'm just trying to tighten these up so there's no play at all up here. Alright, cool. So now I can put Loctite on these two. Okay, so last one for this one. I think you guys kind of get the idea now how much longer it takes to do the Loctite idea. So imagine doing all the screws. I mean, not the ones inside the panel, but the chassis screws for the legs, the power splice, setup, stuff like that. And you probably don't have to do that for your, for personal, but I have to ship this, or this will ship at some point. And the last thing we need is the screws coming out during transit. Come on, stupid. There we go. Cool. So that's on. Alright, so that's all good there. I'll put the front one on. Yeah. Okay, I guess I'll try to get that in there later. Okay, that's that. This needs to come down through here. So this is what I was talking about for installing your radiators before you put these in. You can't get to this screw back here. So this is the reason that I did it afterwards. Oh, I gotta turn off the AC. Hold on a sec, people. It's getting kind of cool in here. All right, so that's kind of how that goes. I guess, I mean, I could tuck away these guys here, and they can actually come all the way out the back here. Well, I think I just got them all stuck now. Good job. I think. Shit. There we go. Okay, so if I pull one at a time through here. Just trying to pull these out back behind the chassis. All right, cool. All right, so whatever. Let's Loctite these guys. So this one. I don't know how much you can actually see with this camera, huh? I need to move back or what? Is that better? That looks better. Maybe top view while I'm doing this. Yeah, it's probably better. All right. Butterfingers. Well, thank you, Newegg. That will fix that, I guess. Then we'll be dropping in the M.2s. Yeah, so cool. Where did I put the stupid? Oh. This one only has one. All right, cool. All right, so those panels are now on. Let me put the window mounts on, and I think we can finally move on here. Let me get my glove back on because I've been trying to avoid touching the acrylic. Actually, I'm going to grab, you know what? I'm going to take 10. Give me about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So see, that was a quick break, right? Didn't take very long, you know. So for anybody that's new that didn't hear, like I said before, Newegg Intel sponsored build. They will be giving this away next month. Follow Newegg's social media for the official announcement and terms and conditions. So you guys got that? This PC will be given away. Legendary PC giveaway. All right. Just want to put that back out there. So back to the grind. Top view. Do we want top view? Yeah, top view is good for now. Let me get my gloves back on. I brought the box this time. So this way I don't have to take a break to go get gloves and go to the bathroom and all that stuff. So I appreciate everybody hanging out. You know, most of the time when somebody goes on a break, everybody takes off. And I wouldn't blame you if you would have took off thinking, you know, that he's not going to come back for a half hour. But my intention is not to be here all night. So it's already 5:20 here. So we got about another 2 hours or less, depending on, my max was 4 hours, but depending on how far we get, will determine if I'm going to cut it off shorter or not. So let's see if I can clean up some of my mess that's going on here. I still need that. I'm going to put these on. So these are the window posts, window mounts. So let me get some thread lock on it. If you're wondering why I'm blowing on it, it's so it'll go all the way around. Obviously it's not gonna, you don't want it to dry up. It needs to lock the threads, right? So I'm just trying to get it to go all the way around the bolt. And then I have an automatic screwdriver here somewhere. So whoever ends up winning this, I'm actually doing them a big favor by thread locking everything. So I'm using the Loctite Blue, which is removable. So that's a good thing, obviously. But at the same time, they're not going to have to worry about their PC, you know, getting shaky or anything, because everything will be super solid. All right, so next one. I go back and double check this, make sure it's pretty solid. All right, so now we need to do the I/O. So I'll go ahead and switch over the camera, go back to 1. So the I/O I've already pre-assembled. Reason being is because I've Loctited all this. So I just need to Loctite these 2 screws. And I think it goes like that. So So I'm not necessarily putting this together in the order that it should be put together, because at this point I should have already covered the power supply area, stuff like that. Reason being is I have modified that. As you can see here, this is from this screw hole here to this screw hole here is the original size. The original piece actually is down in my dirty room. I'm not going to run down and grab it. But what I had to do is I needed to put two 3.5 drives in here, the 14 terabyte Seagates. So one's going to be hard mounted right here on top. This will be for cable management here. And then here on the end is where the other one mounts vertically, right? Yeah, or whatever, horizontal, I don't know, sideways. So it'll be hanging off the side over here, and then there's a bracket that I made that goes on the bottom corner here where you can see my finger. It'll attach to the hard drive. So that's why I haven't put this in yet, because that's kind of like probably a last thing that one of the last things I'll probably do, obviously before the graphics cards, because I need to get to these screws over here. These ones won't be hard to get to, but those end ones will. Now I need a screw for here. So back to the manual. I guess I could put these away before they end up everywhere. I don't need this over here. This is my towel because I need it. These are M4 caps. Okay, so where is the 632nd caps? Here's the screws, I think. Yeah. Did I use all those? Guess so. Pretty sure this is the screw for that. Just gonna double check this, then I'll thread lock it. Yep. Alright, that's that. Now I'll come back up here, tighten these down. And this is acrylic, so obviously you don't want to tighten it too much because that acrylic will crack. It is plastic, so pretty hard plastic, but you know, I don't want to take the chance, so just make it as tight as you feel comfortable with. It is pretty thick though. I mean, there's like 4 pieces of 1/4 inch here, actually 3 pieces of 1/4 inch, and that looks like it's 3/8, or maybe these are all 3. Yeah, that's probably 3/8, and these are 1/4s, and then the motherboard tray is another 1/4. So it's quite a bit of acrylic there. Acrylic's not cheap, hence the price. Alright, so now we got, I think, hardware. Radiators probably go in first. Probably put in the front radiator here. Hard part's going to be figuring out the wiring. So, and then for the top there, maybe I can't run the, I was planning on trying to run the fan cable up in here across there, but I don't really see how you can do that. So, oh, maybe that's what this cutout's for. Maybe I can slide it up over this lip. So, I think I'll go ahead and lay this down. I think I can lay it down. I think I got a little pad. I'll put a pad down here and I'll lay it down. I'll do the top view. We got some pick and pull foam here. Let me take this guy off the table real quick. Don't need that there no more. Put the pick and pull foam on top. Pick up the chassis and lay it on the legs. There we go. So now let's go back to the other view. Get the bird's eye view there. All right, so now you guys probably have a decent view. I'll bring that into the shot. Because we're going to do, obviously the wiring, we'll do that last. I'm not too concerned about that right now. It's more of getting hardware in here and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and grab one of the radiators. And this one, I'm pretty sure is the top one. So this is actually ready for install just like this. Let me, hold on a sec. I gotta move this so I can finish putting screws in it. Pull out the plugs. Throw those to the side. I need a blade. Go ahead and get the EK logo out in view. Get rid of that. I was going to powder coat the radiators too, but I know that thin aluminum getting heated up doesn't always want to go back together the way it came apart. So I opted out of that because the housing on the EK radiators actually comes off. It's got a couple screws here on the end, a couple screws on this end here. And if you pull out these fittings, because these are actual fittings that are into the radiator, then you can actually slide the radiator out. It takes a little finagling, but it does come out of there. The only reason I know that is I took one apart at one point. What's he going to post on Facebook? So one other thing that I probably got to do is because I don't know how good the camera can see these wires here. So what I need to do is, obviously I need to test this, the RGB connection. I haven't even checked it. I did check to make sure that the fan worked. So the fan should work, but I mean, how can you possibly mess up a solder job when you cut one wire at a time is how I did it. So for the most part, I still need to test those. So I should probably do that now before I put them in. And this, I need to depin this so I can actually put a heat shrink over this jumble of soldered wires. And I need to do that on both of them. So yeah, fun stuff. Let me go grab a controller. It's on the other side of the table here. Window. Trying to find a home to put the window so it don't bang into it. There we go. Alright, so I'm just gonna grab like a, I have those old RGB strips, you know, the long, what, 16-foot 50/50s? But I have like little controllers, so I'm gonna grab a controller and a Molex connection so I can power it, and then a controller with a battery, hopefully. Let's see here. Let's see if this has got a battery. Alright, so this will be my test piece. Now I need a power supply to test with. So I got my trusty Enermax Revolution 87 Plus from way back in the day. Yeah, so, alright, let me find a home to plug it into. Okay, so that's kind of a dilemma. Where can I plug it in? Everything's kind of a mess right now. You don't see what's going on off the camera, but trust me when I say it's a mess, it's kind of a mess. Excuse me. Alright, so we do this to this. A long time ago I made a super long Molex, so it's coming in handy right now. So what I'll do is I'll just put it under the rad like that, give it some weight. Then I'm going to plug, oh yeah, I need one of those stupid 4-pin things. So this is an easy way to test your RGBs on the table, but the kicker to that is if they're digital RGB, that's not going to work. You have to test it on the motherboard probably, or buy a digital RGB controller. Okay, I got this big old box here full of LEDs and LED stuff, so give me a second. There's a bag in here somewhere that has those little connectors in it, and I just threw all this stuff in here the other day. Alright, cool. That wasn't too terrible. So yeah, so I got like all kinds of junk, just, you know, whatever. Too much junk. Should throw most of it away. But then it's that situation, you know, you throw it, the minute you throw it away, you need it. Alright, there's that. So power to power. Hook these up backwards and most likely short them out. So let's not do that. Okay. See what we got here. Well, I did see a flicker. So do I need to turn it on? Or did I wire it incorrectly? No, it's wired. It should be wired correctly. Let's try something else. Did I wire them backwards? No. Well, that's not good. Oh, is there a battery in here? Of course, I can't get this stupid battery cover off. There. Yeah, there's a battery in here. There's a battery here. If the battery's good, then I killed some LEDs. That'll suck. Yep, the battery's good. Awesome. So I just cooked those off somehow. Shit. Whoops. Well, maybe they aren't meant to be daisy chained then. Let's try the other one. Yes, I'm testing the LEDs on the fans. They're not addressable LEDs. They're just regular RGB. Why is it still on? I'll just test it on the board when I get the board set up. Yeah. Yes, I'm testing on 12 volt because they're 12 volt LEDs. They have a regular RGB header for them. So these fans actually, each fan has its own RGB header and it has a fan header. So to kill cables, I went ahead and bridged all three of the fans to the one RGB header, which is no different than plugging all three of them into a Y splitter, then to a single splitter to go to, 3-to-1. So if I'd have plugged a 3-to-1 into here and then plugged it into the motherboard, all well and wonderful. The only problem with that is I already have 3 wires coming off of here. Then I have a 3-to-1, and then I have a 2-to-1 because I need to take all 6 of these fans off of one header. Oh, I'm just plugging in this little stupid controller that I have. Where did it go? So I was using this guy here, LED controller, RGB LED, power on this edge. That's where I plug power onto the fans. So I'm thinking that I must have wired them incorrectly, or they just don't like this controller, which could be the case. So I plugged them in like that. I gave it power, and then I tried to turn it on, and I don't get anything. And here's 12 volt and ground right here. So I'm just gonna move on and install these, and then I'll test them on the motherboard tomorrow. And if they don't work, then I will make some magic happen somehow. Because I'm sure EK's not going to want to hear that I fried out their fans. That's for sure. No, I think it's my power supply. I mean, not the power supply, that controller. That's why it's in the box over there, because it's retarded. So I got what, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I just need 6. So we'll come back to the fans. We'll bridge that gap later. Alright, so there's that. I don't think I'm going to use these. I think I'm going to keep with the stainless look here. So hopefully I have enough. All I need is, I think, 12. There's 4. There's 4. Yep, we got enough here. And these are a little longer, so that'd be better. So this needs to go this way, but this needs to be checked. Those are good. So let's see what I can do with these. I'm not going to tighten these all the way down yet because I want to make sure that this radiator is where I want it, and I won't know until I have all the hardware in here. So I'm just going to kind of put it almost tight, just not quite. All right. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start putting some hardware in. I'll come back to the other radiator. All right, so I got to get this cooler off here. Of course, I just moved this over back. All right, here's my towel to clean stuff. I'll go ahead and pull the RAM out. That was just for testing purposes. Grab the box for him. Put the box over there. I don't really want to get my fingerprints, even though I know I have gloves on and everything, but the cleaning lady's here, people, so if you hear something, I'll be right back. Yeah, the RAM's super nice. Super schmexy. There, let me move those guys. All right, so now I need to figure out kind of how the loop, I kind of have an idea how the loop's gonna go, because I laid it out a little bit before, just kind of looked at it, but I have no idea which way the CPU block was gonna go. So we're gonna put the bracket on right now, and I'm just gonna kind of set the CPU block on here. I'm not gonna actually install it yet till I know for sure. And this is the EK Velocity. This is the wrong one. Where'd the other one go? Are they both on the table? Oh, it's on the other table over here. Yeah. I'm sorry. I grabbed the wrong one. I wasn't sure which one I was gonna use at the time because I put the list of parts together without actually, laying this out. I didn't even have the case, so I just kind of guessed. So, a lot of those fittings, hopefully we're gonna use most of them. I have no idea. But at the time, I didn't have the motherboard. I didn't have any of this stuff. But we didn't even know what board. So I asked EK if they could send me a digital RGB and a regular RGB one because some motherboards don't have digital RGB. So this motherboard does. So that's awesome. So the plan was to put... Oh, that's right. One rad on one of the RGB headers, the other rad on the other RGB header, because there are two RGB headers, and then the CPU block would be on the digital RGB, and that would cover the RGB setup. I was thinking about putting in extra RGBs, but I'm not sure yet, so we will come back to that. Like putting a strip, maybe down this front edge pointing in, I think might be kind of cool, and there's room in here to do that. So I may do that, but I'll do that off camera because some of this stuff, just gets too tedious, takes too long, and then we're stuck fumbling around in the dark, it feels like. All right, so I don't need this. I don't need that. Alright, it's not going to use that. I don't need these ones. These are for X299, X99. All right, so the fun part. Oops. Alright, so something's not threading here for some reason. That one works. That one works. Okay. So it's just me. And it all looks like it's threaded good. Try that again. Same problem. That one threads. Why is this one not working? What the hell? Alright, so it works from here. This one's not going in either. having issues getting the bracket to, for some of these screws to thread up for some reason. Alright, so that one threaded on that one. It's like they start and then they stop, like they're gonna cross thread, but I've already checked everything. Makes no sense. That's what happens when you have extra parts. So I'm going to check this on here. Everything works. So I'm going to pull this one out, even though I already checked it and it was fine. Alright, I don't know, whatever. Doesn't make any sense. This one, I threaded it, tried it, it worked. But didn't want to work when I go put it together, but this one works fine, so that makes a lot of no sense. Cool. Alright, so now that's on there finally, 10 years later. Let's go ahead and throw this up in here for a minute. It goes right about there. So normally you'd want to put it with the logo facing correctly. I'm just setting it on there. Don't troll me because I didn't put thermal paste in there or pull the sticker off or any of that crap. We're doing mock-up right now, okay, people? I gotta do tubes still. Tubing still has to be figured out. So I'm just gonna put this lightly on here. All right, cool. So that's whatever. Okay, moving on. Screws for the motherboard would be nice because then the motherboard won't fall out. These are 6/32. Came out of here. Came out of here. This is for the front panel. It goes there, there, there. Just trying to put some of this away. What's this? This is the window. These are more cap nuts. So hopefully I'll have enough for the front panel. Cool. And these are for whatever. You get 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now I can bring this back over here finally. All right, so let's just go ahead and put this like that. All right, more stainless steel screws. So I was informed that I do have 2 M.2s coming. They should be here tomorrow morning. Because unfortunately I overlooked the fact that those are SSDs and I took all the SSD brackets out, or mounting that is. So yeah. Let me see if I can, how am I going to do this? All right, now the board won't fall out. Cool. So that's kind of in there. Let's grab the GPUs. These are beasts of cards for sure. They are the Seahawks. Where am I looking here? Camera up. Yep. So there are some ginormous. Look how tall they are, and they're super long, and they're dual 8s and 6 pins. So yeah, some serious cards. So let's go ahead and drop them down in here. And like I said, we're still in mock-up, so it's not like nothing's permanent yet. All right. Wow, holy crap. I think they're gonna be on the glass window. All right. We'll see in a minute. So I'm looking across here, and it's kind of hard for you guys to probably see, but here, look, let's see if I can get you guys to see what I see. All right, I got this view here with this camera here. That's why I got it here. So I'm gonna spin this so we can line up across here. Let's see. Do you see the top of the cards? You see these posts back here, people? Those are for the window. So, and over here, there's one over here, and then there's one in this corner, in the front corner here, and then there's also one that sits on this power supply cover. Let me see. Right there. So, I'm looking at it right now, and I'm thinking that these covers may have to come off. I don't want to take these off because they say, you know, they got the MSI Dragon on them. They say Seahawk. They're pretty cool looking. So I'm hoping that these do clear the glass. And if they do, it'll be very close. These are super freaking tall, man. I don't think they're going to clear the glass. Anyways, that sucks. See, this is why you do a mock-up of the build. You know, you come in and you check fitting on everything and see if everything's going to work. I mean, obviously the cards will work in here. It's just we may have to take these guys off. So I'll check that out tomorrow. I'm hoping that they don't have to come off, because I know the glass has some grommets in the corners. I wrap the glass back up. Otherwise, I'd pull it off right now and bring it over here and try it. But I don't want to unwrap it again right now. Not for this, because I can bridge that gap later. Because the worst case scenario, I can always put another rubber grommet or a rubber washer or something in between the standoffs and the screws, just to kind of push the window out a little bit further. Because I'm sure that nobody would have imagined that these humongous cards are going to go in here. Yeah, it is a little bit taller than the standoffs. Well, it might be even. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. All right, so I guess I need to put the other radiator in here, huh? All right, so I'm gonna put this radiator in. We can grab the Optane drive and put that in there. Actually, we don't need two for this mock-up, but I just wanted to show you guys the Optane drive. If you don't have one, you should get one. They're pretty fast. Ideal to add some more games, throw all your games on those things. They freaking fly. All right, so let's go back to the top view for now. Number 2, right? Okay, so I'm gonna put this guy in. So I need to push this back again. This is where it'll get a little tricky because I can't use these screws. So I picked up, I gotta go to Ace Hardware. Actually, Ace Hardware has the Allen, the button head screws that I would rather use than the Phillips, because you'll see them behind the front panel. So I'll probably go to Ace Hardware tomorrow and pick that up, and then also I may have to pick up some cap nuts. All right, so there's that. because I did pick these up, but they are Phillips. Because Lowe's doesn't have a wide variety over there. So let's see, how am I going to do this? Alright, I know what I'll do. I'll put this up here. Go figure. I tried. Just trying to get something to hold everything up here for a minute. Let's do the top only. Okay, that's not gonna work, so I've done it before like this and it worked. So pull all the screws out. Do it the hard way. Okay, one started. So nice. What's going on here? There we go. So the reason I didn't use the EK screws were because they were too short when I added this thicker piece here. Need to slide this down without undoing all these. the... Oh, okay. I'm hitting this now. Okay. So with the front panel on here, it's going to be a tight fit for the fittings and stuff. Okay, why doesn't this one catch? But it should work. I don't know what's going on with that screw. Try a different one. There. All right. So this is good for now. All right. So I mean, I guess I could put the pump in. Thinking some of this I probably should have done first. But I guess I could just pull this. There's a bracket here on the bottom I could pull off, which is the technically to hide the pump cable. So yeah, let's grab the O-rings. I'm assuming one goes down in there. Pretty sure it's just one. Then I'll heat this up later. I'll heat this back up so I can bend it more so it'll come down into here. Cool. So all this will get tucked away eventually once I figure out the LEDs and the routing and stuff. It'll all get tucked into here. So for now, I don't have this big ball of fan wires and whatever wires hanging out. I'm going to just zip tie them together. Squints is in there, huh? What's up, Squints? You ain't getting none of my secrets, man. I can't show you. That's all the stuff I do off camera. All right, so wow, this looks dirty. All right. Okay, so how is the routing gonna go? All right, so I'm gonna switch to view again. I'm gonna come and stand this back up. So let's pull it off the table here. I'm not really sure how to grab it, but nothing fell out, so we're good. Alright, so I'm not sitting on top of any wires here. Alright, so there's kind of where we're at right now. I just saw the camera glitch, so yeah, that's awesome. Why is it glitching? They're seeing that too. That's weird. Hold on a minute. I accidentally hit this button on my thing. Okay. Let's see if it does it again. Oh, what's up with that stutter? You guys see that, right? That's awesome. Whatever the hell that is. That's kind of weird. I've never seen that before. So anyways, I don't know. Let me look at the picture here. See how dark that is. That was weird. Yeah, I got auto mod on aggressive. There'll be no slandering. There'll be no racial slurs. There'll be none of that stuff. So you can't talk too much shit to me. But anyways, I can always, change that later. This is the first time, so I didn't know what to set it at. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna have a. Yeah, so now I'm trying to figure out how are you supposed to install. Well, I guess you could technically reach up there. Because there's a screw that's got to go up in this corner here for the front piece. And then one at the bottom, which is no problem. This one's no problem, no problem, no problem. So, yeah. Alright, so it looks kind of cool so far. My moderator's laughing at me, so she's like, you haven't done shit yet. Alright, so what am I going to do here? My plan for the loop, I need to put this front panel on, just kind of show you guys. So let me put this on here so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Let me see. Oh, great. Now I'm dropping stuff. All right, cool. So let's see here. Let's see if these are Those are 632nd cabinets. Where's those M4 ones? Right here. So I got my trusty PC Tech ruler here. It's got threads on it, so then I can check my screw and see what it is. That's an M4. Thank you, Bill Owen, for this cool ruler. This is the copper edition. Alright, so let's put this panel on here. I will start with, crap, I should start with this one way up here, but I don't know if I can get this in here. Yeah. So I have to pull this stud out in order to get to it. Alright. I should be able to put this screw in. Oops. Backwards. And then this goes on like this. Ports up. I'll probably put a washer behind it. That way it's not gouging the front of it or anything. But for now, I'm just gonna put it on here. Cool. So that's half of the Elite kit. So if you buy the actual Elite kit, you get this front panel and the side mount panel over there that I won't be using because we won't be vertically mounting the GPUs. No, because those things are so freaking tall. There's no way we can vertically mount them. Plus the fact that I put the hard drives on the spot where they mount to. So, next, I guess I can show you how the hard drives will be mounted and kind of give you guys an idea here. I'll put them on the plate. I'm just going to use some standard flat Phillips. couple of those. So it goes like this. That means this goes like that. Upside down. Oh, no way. Awesome. So the hard drive I used to mock up the holes doesn't have the same hole pattern. Oh my god. Guess I should have checked that. I can put 2 of the screws in it for now, and then I'll drill 2 tomorrow. So I use this dead hard drive that I have that I always use for mock-up. Where's the camera? I guess I should come over here. Actually, I'll just go like that. So I use this dead drive that I use for mock-up all the time, and it had the 4 holes like so. So that's how I cut the holes. But I didn't even check this to match it up to the Seagate and see if they were the same. And look how far the Seagate's holes are all the way down here, which is better because it'll be more stable. But now what I need to do is re-drill 2 holes. But for now, I'll just put it on the way it is. No big deal, I guess. A little mishap. So there's that one. And this one will have to go on after this is in here. Alright, so let's see here. Wow, I didn't even... Okay. So then the other one will mount here on the side. Just like that. To give you guys an idea. I wonder how close the or the NVMe drive is going to be to that. Pretty close. Well, all right. So for the loop, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that we have an out here. So let me turn this a little bit. So I need something that I can point with. I'll point with this screwdriver. Okay, so we got our out here. So most likely what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to come over to the CPU. And the CPU in is on this side. So that means I need to turn this around. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, because that'll put the velocity logo upside down. Well, I might be able to take the CPU block apart. I don't know. Maybe rotate the velocity bracket down. I'll have to look at that. But anyway, so I need the in on this side. Or I could go to the GPU first, I guess. Go to the GPU. Go up to the rad from the GPU. So I'd use both the in and out here. Go up here. Most likely to the back port. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. One of those ports up there. And then from there come into the CPU. And then from the CPU come out and go into this little channel here. Right? And then from this channel I'll go into this radiator. This radiator is going to come out and go directly into this front panel. And then from the front panel it'll come back out and go into here. So that is my thought for the loop. So that is a bridge we will cross probably tomorrow or Saturday. I'm not sure yet. So I'll have to get back to you guys on that. But I think I'm going to wrap it up because it's almost 7. I'm tired. My back hurts. Yeah. and our PC's not built yet, but like I said, these builds are going to probably be two-day streams. So for the most part, I mean, we got a lot of the hardware set up on here, kind of looking at it and laying out things and figuring out where things are going to go and how things are going to work. Don't mind me, I'm kind of looking in here at the wires hanging down here. So thanks for watching the stream. Hopefully you'll join me for the next stream. I will post at least a 2 to 4 hour window of when I'm going to stream, tomorrow or Saturday or whenever it is that I stream. Sometime by Monday I will stream again, and I'll post it up on Facebook, on Twitter. Yeah, so once I post it, it'll at least be 2 hours away, or something like that. At least have some kind of cushion, so that way it's not like, oh hey, I'm going live stream right now. So once again, thanks for watching. Hopefully you'll be back for the next one. Until next time.